So you're thinking about moving to Hinckley, Ohio? Well, in this video, we're gonna give you our 5 pros and 5 cons of living in Hinckley. So hang out with me because one of these may be both, but you're gonna let me know in the comments below. So let's get into it right now. Hi, my name is Joe Latangio, and I'm with the Moving to Northeast Ohio team. And if this is your first time to the channel and you wanna know everything there is about living in Northeast Ohio, the different cities and the surrounding areas, subscribe below and tap that bell for notifications so that you can be the first to learn what's going on in the marketplace in Northeast Ohio. You know, my team and I, we get calls, texts, emails every single day from people just like you looking to make their move in Northeast Ohio. So whether you move in 9 days or 9 months, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Better yet, schedule that Zoom call. All our information is in the description below. We'd be happy to help you make that smooth move in Northeast Ohio. Now, Hinckley is one of those places where you can finally catch your breath. Well, maybe not if you're hiking up there in whip sledges because that's a tough trail. Even though it's short, it's still tough. I mean, the moment that you drive into the town, like you're gonna notice the difference. You've got wide open spaces, you've got winding country roads, and the homes, they're tucked away from the street, you know, among the mature trees. It's a real nice rural setting, kind of a place where you can step outside your front door and actually breathe in some fresh air. You've got no traffic or towering buildings to block your view. Hinckley offers a lifestyle that's hard to beat in a city. You know, whether you're out for a morning jog, you're enjoying a quiet evening on your porch, or you're just taking in the sounds of nature. It's a pace that allows you to truly unwind. And if you're someone who enjoys a more laid-back lifestyle, this place is tailor-made for it. Now, the neighborhoods here, they're often large properties with a lot of privacy. So imagine having your own backyard with enough room to plant your garden, just enjoy some peace and quiet. Sometimes you just can't get that enough, you know what I mean? This isn't the kind of place where you feel cramped. It's a town where you can just spread out. Plus, because Hinckley is so close enough to Cleveland and Akron, you're gonna get the best of both worlds. You've got rural landscape with quick access to each city whenever you need it. So if you're craving that slower, more serene lifestyle without being too far from city conveniences, Hinckley just might be that perfect spot for you. Now let's talk about Hinckley's absolute best feature, the great outdoors. Now, I'm not talking about a park bench and a couple of swing sets. I mean over 3,200 acres of seriously beautiful, well-maintained parkland at the Hinckley Reservation, which is part of the Metro Parks, the Cleveland Metro Parks. And I'm actually here right now hiking uphill. I'm gonna go take a seat on a bench over there and kind of show you what's going on. Now, they did some construction over the last couple of years. They emptied the lake, they're doing some dredging. They had to repair the dam and rebuild it. So it doesn't look as pretty, but next year in 2026, they're gonna fill everything back up. The boathouse is gonna be accessible. So I'm actually gonna head down to a little hidden dock. It doesn't look as pretty, but I'll show it to you anyway. So this is typically, there's the boathouse up there. As you can see, boathouse way over there. This is completely filled in with water, but as of right now, they're doing some construction. So in 2026, this will be all filled back up. So at the center of it all is Hinckley Lake, which is a peaceful lake. You know, you can kayak, paddle boat, or just sit back, you know, and take it all in. There's a boathouse actually back over there, if you can see that. That's where you can run all your kayaks and your boats for the lake. And this place is also open in the wintertime, so you can come out here and do some ice fishing. So they don't shut it down, just kind of switch things up a little bit. And the trails, well, there's 20 miles of them here. So you know what, whether you're doing a casual stroll or good old fashioned hike, you've got some options out here at Hinckley. The actual loop around the lake is about 3 miles. It's got some really great views. Well, when the lake is full, right? It's got some really great, I mean, okay, it still has some good views. You get to see the lake not being full right now, but you know what? If you love to be outside, this is a great place to take it in. Then you've got whip ledges, which is where I'm at right now. And this is one of your good old-fashioned hikes, actually. It's short but dramatic. There's huge sandstone cliffs that you can climb. And then there's some horseback riding too on a bridle trail, but check this out. I'm gonna go up that. I don't know if holding a camera is probably a good idea doing this, but we're gonna climb up this sucker and see what's up on top, because it's been a long time since I've been here. How cool is this? I gotta show you. Whoa, I will say there's a lot of bugs in here. Now that's cool, but I don't know if I'm going down in there because I got all my gear. Plus, I wanna go to the top of this thing because I wanna get up there on the stones and check it out. I said stones, rocks. I just came from down in here. That's where I came from. That started out over there. This is a cool place. So if you want some exercise, whip ledges is where you should make a stop. And then you've got Warden's Ledges, which is where I'm at right now. It's a short scenic route. It's got some really cool carvings, but it is not easy. So, you know, be prepared to rock climb and stuff. But check out this right behind me right here. You've got cool face carvings. And then I found a couple more over here. You've got one, right there. There's a ship right there. If you can see that one, there's a ship right there. And then there's a little face right there on the corner. Oh, let me see. Yeah, right there on the corner. So yeah, if you love being outside, Hinckley's got your back for sure. You're gonna never run out of things to explore here because you kind of get to roam free a little bit in these parks, which is pretty cool. Let's talk about what really matters to families, and that's the schools. Now, Hinckley is part of the Highland Local School District, and that covers Hinckley, Granger, Sharon, parts of Medina, Brunswick Hills is in there as well. And it's a solid school district. It's got around almost 3,400 students across 6 schools. And rumor has it that they hit a record number, a 99% graduation rate for the class of 2025. Okay, so here's the breakdown of the schools. You have Hinckley Elementary, which serves K through 5. That earned an A rating per niche. Thanks to its top-tier academics and great student-to-teacher ratio. Then you've got Granger and Sharon Elementary, also K through 5. They also have a A-grade reputation per niche. Then there's the Highland Middle School that handles grades 6 through 8, and that's the one that kind of bridges the early years to the high school experience. Then you've got the high school, which is grades 9 through 12, which has another A rating per niche. Now let's talk test scores in college prep. Per Public School Review, in the district, 81% of the students are proficient in math and 88% are proficient in reading, and that's per niche. At Highland High, proficiency climbs to even higher, 82% in math and 91% in reading, and 84% in science. They're ranked in the top 5% of schools here in Ohio. Now there's no IB program, but the strong college prep and the dual enrollment opportunities are going to be available for those motivated students. And outside the classroom, Highland High is big on extracurricular activities and sports. They've got everything from football to basketball to baseball to marching bands, theater, robotics. They've got a National Honor Society, and even the Hornets compete in the Suburban League, and the school even earned multiple college success awards. So you've got a solid school system here in Hinckley. All right, next up, let's talk about safety. One of those things that most people love about Hinckley is that it just feels safe. And it's not just a feeling, the crime rates here are impressively low. And according to crimegrade.org, Hinckley has an A+ safety rating, meaning crime here is significantly lower than the national average. Why is that? Well, for starters, Hinckley, it's a small, tight-knit town. There's only around 8,000 people here, and according to some of the local folks, they really look out for each other. That kind of community connection plays a big role in keeping things calm and safe. The local police force is also super engaged. They're proactive, not reactive. You know, you will see patrol cars, but you'll also see officers chatting with residents and helping out at the school. That presence adds to the overall sense of security here in Hinckley. And it helps that Hinckley doesn't have a lot of transient traffic either. It's not like a pass-through town. That quiet, tucked away geography actually helps deter that. Plus, a lot of homes here share big lots, driveways, which naturally gives people more privacy and security. So if peace of mind is on your wish list, Hinckley, I think it's going to definitely deliver that for you. Now, there's something a lot of people don't realize about Hinckley. It's in a really smart spot. It feels super rural, peaceful, but it's tucked right between Cleveland and Akron. And you're looking at about 35 minutes drive to downtown Cleveland, another 25 or 30 minutes to Akron. So whether you're commuting for work, catching a Cavs game, or you're just heading into the city for a good meal, all of it's within reach. And Hinckley is nestled right off of I-71 and Route 303, which makes jumping on a highway a breeze. And it's also close to I-271, which is a major north and south connector in Northeast Ohio. So if you're heading to places like Independence, Strongsville, Medina, or even the airport, you're rarely more than 30 minutes away. And speaking of the Cleveland Hopkins International Airport, it's only about 18 miles from here, which is huge if you travel for work or you just love to go on a good vacation. Another bonus, you've got quick access to major shopping and major medical centers. You've got Medina, Strongsville, Brecksville. They're just a short drive away. So you're never far from big box stores, restaurants, hospitals, or any kind of specialty services. It's like having all the perks of the suburb without actually living in the middle of all that traffic and noise. So yeah, Hinckley's location is kind of the best of both worlds again, right? You got quiet country living with big city convenience just down the road. Now, before you pack up your bags and head out to Hinckley, Ohio, let's talk about some of the cons. But I think a lot of the pros are gonna outweigh the cons. But you decide, let me know in the comments below. All right, let's be honest. If you're looking for big nightlife, Hinckley is not exactly Vegas or even Cleveland or close to any of that. This town is quiet, like hear the crickets at 9 p.m. kind of quiet, which, hey, that's part of the charm, but also something that you need to think about depending on your lifestyle. You won't find clubs here, comedy venues, concert halls. There's a few local bars and casual spots you can grab a bite to eat, but your options are going to be limited. Think more watering hole, less rooftop lounges. So if you're someone who loves music every weekend or stays out past midnight, you're probably going to end up driving to Cleveland or Akron for all your entertainment fixes. That said, if your idea of a good night is a bonfire, a board game, maybe a movie night at home with the stars shining above, then you are going to absolutely love it here in Hinckley. I mean, Hinckley definitely caters to more of the early night crowd, and honestly, after a long weekend, that's not the worst thing that can happen to you, right? So yeah, not a con for everyone, but hey, if nightlife is on your list, then just know that you're going to be having to drive a little bit further to get some of that. All right, let's talk food, because who doesn't love a good meal out, right? But here's the thing with Hinckley is, while there's a few spots to grab a bite, the dining scene is going to be really limited. Now, you're not going to find rows of trendy bistros or international cuisine around every corner. But what you do have is your go-to pizza joint. You got a couple small restaurants and maybe even a local tavern, with a solid burger. And that's going to be about it. I mean, it's small town dining. It's casual, it's local, and maybe it's a little old school, which honestly, it's got its own kind of charm. But if you're craving sushi and Indian food and fancy farm to table experience, you're gonna end up heading out of town for that. But thankfully, because of the strategic location, you're not far from great options like Medina, Strongsville, Brecksville, where you're gonna have a little bit more of a robust restaurant scene. And then you've got Cleveland's culinary world, which is just 30 to 40 minutes away, depending on where you want to go, and you can make an evening of it. All right, about shopping. If you're someone who loves to pop into Target just because, or you enjoy browsing boutique shops on the weekends, Hinckley might feel a little, quiet, I guess. There aren't any big box stores here. You've got no malls, no department stores, and not much in the way of retail variety at all. You've got some essentials, maybe a hardware store, a convenient mart, a local farm stand, but that's kind of about it. For everything else, you're gonna be heading out of town. Thankfully, you're not stranded though. You've got Strongsville, Medina, Brecksville. Again, all of those are gonna be within 15, 20 minutes. And they've got just about everything. You got Target, Costco's, Home Goods, you got grocery chains, pharmacies, small boutiques if that's what you're looking for. And if you want that true mall experience, you've got South Park Mall in Strongsville, just up the road. What's there, 150 stores, and got some restaurants all over the place up there. So yeah, if convenience shopping is a big part of your daily routine, Hinckley might just leave you making a big adjustment. But a short drive puts you right back into retail, and honestly, some folks like the separation, fewer impulse buys, right? Public transportation in Hinckley is basically non-existent. There's no buses, there's no light rail, there's no trains. If you're used to hopping on a bus to go to work or go to your doctor's appointments, you're gonna have to make some adjustments here. I mean, in Hinckley, a car isn't just helpful, it's gonna be essential. And groceries, appointments, you're commuting, I mean, pretty much everything, right? And rideshares like Uber or Lyft, I mean, they do exist here, but can be hit or miss depending on that time of day. It's all part of that small town lifestyle, right? Beautiful, peaceful, but it's not exactly transit friendly. All right, now let's talk about another downside here of Hinckley, and that's home prices. Compared to some of the surrounding towns like Brunswick, Medina, Hinckley tends to be on the higher end, and we're not talking luxury market pricing. I mean, there are luxury homes here, but homes here do carry a premium. But there's some reasons for that, which causes that premium to be where it's at. First, you usually get a lot more land. Here in Hinckley, it's known for having larger lots. We're talking an acre or more in most cases. And that kind of space doesn't come cheap. People move here for peace and privacy and that room to breathe feeling, and the market reflects that. And because the city doesn't have any income tax, which is great for residents, but that also means that the community is going to rely on the property taxes and solid real estate values to fund things like schools and public services. And speaking of schools, Highland City School District, a pro that we talked about, top rated school, also kind of pushes those home values up. Families are willing to pay more to be in a great school district. And then there's inventory, which is usually pretty limited. I mean, Hinckley isn't full of developments or cookie cutter subdivisions, but a lot of the homes are custom built and are on unique lots. So when something hits the market, especially in move-in ready condition, it tends to get scooped up pretty quickly here, and often for a premium. So yeah, you might pay a little bit more to live here, but it's worth it for the space, the schools, the safety, the small town charm that you get. Just something to keep in mind if you're house hunting in the area. So is it a pro or a con? What are your thoughts? Give me some comments below. Thanks for hanging out to the end. We greatly appreciate you. Give us a thumbs up if you found this video helpful. We'll be covering more in Hinckley, so make sure that you subscribe below and smash that bell for notifications. And we want to hear your feedback about living in Hinckley. It's going to help everyone on the channel. Did you fall asleep to the rural soundscape, listening to the chorus frogs and the spring peepers calling with their highly pitched rhythmic trills? Inquiring watchers want to know. Shoot us a comment below. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 9 months, please give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. Better yet, schedule that Zoom call. They're going to be more fun. We'd be happy to help you out in any way possible. So until next time, we hope to see you around town.